96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 10 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice Tuesday morning. Hector de la Torre is on the phone. He's the executive director of the Transamerica Center for Health Studies. And he's going to give us some information that might help you out through the holidays. He's going to talk about the causes of holiday depression, what can be done to alleviate those depression feelings, and also the new Transamerica Center for Health Studies survey findings surrounding mental health resources. And, it's supposed to be a season of happiness, and it just doesn't always work out that way. So let's find out what we can do to make it a little bit better. Hector de la Torre, good morning. It's an honor to have you on the show.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Where are you calling from?
Los Angeles.
Okay. Well, thank you for getting up early to do this. Is it the same for everybody? If I'm going through, and I'm asking because I sort of feel like I know, so I don't mean to be asking what do you call that, Robin? What kind of question? I'm sorry.
Sensitive.
Rhetorical.
Rhetorical.
Yeah, I don't want to ask a rhetorical question, but I feel like I can get over depression pretty easy. I just have to watch a video of a dog chasing his tail, and I'll be fine. you know. But I've known people who really truly have an issue and serious concerns, I guess, about depression. So I'm guessing it's different, right?
Absolutely. It's there is a mental health condition that is depression. In fact, we do our annual survey. We found that 62% of Americans have some kind of ongoing health condition, and of that group, the number one health condition they reported was mental health. And that includes depression, anxiety, drug abuse, those kinds of mental health conditions, higher than, for example, high blood pressure, which was very surprising to us. So if you have a mental health condition, this time of year can be very, very difficult because you're expected to be happy, right? It's the most wonderful time of the year. And if you're not feeling it, that can really impact you negatively. The other thing that we find is many people have lost a loved one either within the last year or in previous years, and the holiday season is just a reminder of their absence.
Yeah.
And it really can depress folks to not have them around when they have other friends and loved ones around, but not that person, whether it's a spouse or a parent or a sibling or a child.
Yeah.
And depression affects all ages, though, because we know, children that experience depression.
Absolutely. In fact, we know that 75%, this is a national mental health statistic, 75% of mental health conditions come out or are visible by 24 years old. So obviously it starts very young, and it's very noticeable again by age 24, and then obviously ongoing through the rest of their life.
So I want to ask you something based on, I guess it's a silly little thing, but last year there was a new word added to the dictionary from the slang world, and the word is hangry. It means, and I guess you know, that when you're hungry in the afternoon or whatever, and you're starting to become angry because you're hungry. And when the word came out, what it did for me is it made me realize, oh, this happens to me. I feel like I get grumpy a little bit when I'm supposed to be eating and I haven't eaten yet. And I'm not trying to say that. Again, I'm not trying to simplify something as serious as depression, but I think here's what I'm trying to get at. Just knowing that this happens to me helped me control it better. Does that make sense? And I wondered if it applies to depression.
Self-awareness is always very, very important, and you bring up a good point in terms of, what to do about it if you're feeling depressed or anxious during the holidays. The first thing you need to do is take care of your physical health, and that means eating properly. That means doing some kind of physical activity, some exercise, and sleeping well. sleeping properly, getting enough sleep. So those things, if you're not doing them, can make things worse. And so you want to make sure that you're doing those basic things to make sure you're not going into some downward spiral where your mental health is causing you to not take care of your physical health, and then you're really in worse shape. And then the second thing is the social aspect. With regard to mental health conditions, you need to talk to somebody about it, family member, friend, co-worker. You need to discuss it and not just keep it bottled up inside, because that will also make things worse.
So did the survey reveal that people in general, at least the people who answered the questions, are they aware of it, and are they a different group than the people who may not have taken the test? Because I'm thinking if you took the survey, then you're probably somewhat aware, right?
Yeah, well, it's self-reported, so they are telling us that they have these mental health conditions, so they are aware. But we do know that every year a significant portion of adults are diagnosed with a mental health condition. In fact, approximately 44 million in 2016. About 1 in 5 adults is diagnosed every year with a mental health condition.
What if a person seems to have mental health issues and a friend tries to acknowledge that and open the door to conversation, and then all of a sudden the person with the issues goes on the defensive and goes into denial and says, I don't need help, I'm fine?
Yeah, that's very, very difficult. Then the suggestion should be, to talk to a medical doctor. Go to their regular physician, and share with them what they're thinking or feeling, and they can be referred to a mental health professional from their doctor. Many people get defensive because there's still a stigma attached to mental health conditions, unfortunately.
Right.
And so they don't want to be seen as weak or quote-unquote broken in any way, and so they can be in denial. But, encouraging them to go seek some help from someone, if it isn't that they go to somebody and share that.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's the part of this conversation that deals with self-awareness of depression separates that group from those who aren't aware, and those are the ones that's maybe harder to reach. But I wondered if those who stayed tuned for this interview, and those who or turned up the volume during this interview anyway, is there a way for them to look at the study and maybe benefit from it?
Absolutely. We have a mental health guide on our website that covers some basics of mental health. For the person who may have the issue, or for family and friends, as you just described. You can go there and see, what are some of the symptoms, and also health insurance, how health insurance engages mental health treatment. It's different than physical health coverage. It is under the Affordable Care Act required that insurance covers mental health.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But it's done different. But it's done differently than physical health, just because mental health providers don't have the back office to deal with insurance companies, and so it can be very different. And then the third thing is resources. There's a number of resources in the mental health guide, whether they're regional or national, to refer people to. So that information is all on our website and available for free. Because we're a nonprofit.
And tell us the website.
www.transamericacenterforhealthstudies.org. I know it's a mouthful, but that's our name, Transamerica Center for Health Studies.
It is, but Robin will make sure it's on the Facebook page along with this interview. Hector, thank you for being on the show with us today. Enjoy the holidays.
Thank you. You too.
All right, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Here is your one-minute news brief. The Marion County School Board is planning to purchase new school buses to replace the aging buses